All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to talk about what might be one of the most powerful tools out there for hitting the reset button on your metabolism and extending your health span. We're talking about intermittent fasting. We're going to break down how it works, what it's actually doing to your cells, and why it really could be a game changer for longevity. So let's start with this question, because it really flips so much modern dietary advice on its head. For decades, the focus has been all about calories, macros, what's on your plate. But what if the timing, those periods when we're not eating, is just as important, maybe even more important for our long-term health? So what even is intermittent fasting? Well, the beauty of it is its simplicity. It's not another complicated diet telling you what foods to eat. Nope, it's just a pattern that tells you when to eat. It's all about creating these intentional windows of time for eating and for fasting, so your body can cycle between two really distinct metabolic states. And that right there is the crucial point. The real magic of fasting isn't just about restriction. It's about giving your digestive system a much-needed break. This lets your body redirect all that energy away from constantly processing food and toward these vital maintenance tasks. Think of it like scheduled downtime for your cells to repair and renew themselves. Okay, so how does this all work on a biological level? Let's get into the science of self-repair, because it's fascinating. It turns out our bodies have this incredible built-in renewal program that fasting basically kicks into high gear. I absolutely love this analogy because it's just so spot on. I mean, think about it. If you're constantly bringing new stuff into your house, you never have the time to do a deep clean, right? To organize things, throw out the trash. Well, fasting is that dedicated time for your body to finally take out all that cellular trash and just tidy everything up. And there's a scientific name for this house cleaning. It's called autophagy. It literally means self-eating. Now that sounds a little dramatic, but it's not a destructive thing. It's more like a super sophisticated quality control system. Your cells go around, they find old, broken, dysfunctional parts, and they break them down, recycling the raw materials to build new, healthy components. It's pretty amazing. And when you activate the system, you get this incredible cascade of benefits. Fasting helps lower your insulin levels, which is huge for metabolic health. It dials down chronic inflammation. It makes our cellular power plants, the mitochondria, run more efficiently. And of course, it stimulates that all-important autophagy. I mean, the benefits touch everything from our metabolism to our brains and even our immune system. So how does your body actually do this? How does it flip the switch into repair mode? Well, it all comes down to these specific molecular pathways that act like master regulators, telling your cells, okay, it's time to grow, or nope, now it's time to repair. And this chart illustrates it perfectly. You can really see the two opposing states. On the right, you've got the fed state. This is when we're eating. The growth pathway, mTOR, is active. It's telling our cells to grow, to divide, to store energy. But then, look at the left side, the fasting state. Everything flips. mTOR goes quiet, and the repair pathways, AMPK and sirtuins, they come online, turning on autophagy and fat burning. Let's break these down real quick. First up is AMPK. You can think of it as your body's fuel gauge. When it senses that your energy levels are getting low, like during a fast, it shifts your body from storage mode into conservation and repair mode. It's basically saying, all right, let's stop storing fuel and start burning what we've got while we clean things up. Then, on the other side of that coin, you've got mTOR. This is the body's primary engine for growth. Now, growth is absolutely essential, but if mTOR is constantly turned on, it can actually suppress those crucial repair processes like autophagy. So fasting is one of the best ways to just temporarily quiet mTOR down and give the body's cleaning crew the green light to get to work. And finally, we've got sirtuins. People often call these the longevity genes. Think of them as the guardians of your genome. When fasting activates them, they get to work stabilizing your DNA, reducing inflammation, and boosting the health of your mitochondria. They're a really critical part of the whole cellular maintenance team. So here's the big takeaway. By cycling between eating and fasting, we're creating this really dynamic biochemical environment. We get all the benefits of growth when we eat, and then we get the essential benefits of renewal and repair when we fast. It's this balance that really seems to be a secret to cellular youthfulness. Okay, so we've covered the why, which is super interesting. But now let's talk about the how. I mean, how does this actually translate into a daily or weekly routine? Let's look at some of the most common ways people do this. Probably the most popular method is time-restricted eating, what people often call 16-8. That's where you fast for 16 hours and eat all your meals within an 8-hour window. Some people prefer the 5-2 method, where you have 2 low-calorie days each week. But honestly, the key takeaway here is that there's no single right way to do it. The best approach is always going to be the one that fits your lifestyle and feels sustainable for you. And of course, it's super important to do this safely and effectively. Fasting is simple, but let's be real, it's not always easy, especially when you're just starting out. So here are a few science-based tips to help you get going. First up, hydration is everything. Water, unsweetened tea, black coffee, they don't break a fast and can actually help support the process. Second, please don't jump into a 24-hour fast on day one. Just ease into it. Start with a simple 12-hour overnight fast and then gradually push that window. When it's time to eat, break your fast gently with whole foods, not a bunch of sugar. And most importantly, listen to your body. Personalize your approach. And this really is the bottom line, isn't it? Effective fasting is not about deprivation. It's not about pushing your body to its absolute limits. It's about finding a sustainable balance and getting in sync with your body's own natural rhythms of activity and rest. You know, if you take just one thing away from this whole explainer, I hope it's this. Intermittent fasting isn't a diet. It's a rhythm. It's a pattern that gives your cells a chance to breathe, your metabolism a chance to reset, and your own innate longevity pathways a chance to come alive. So, I'll just leave you with this question to think about. In our world of constant consumption, we're always focused on what we need to add to our lives for better health. But maybe, just maybe, one of the most powerful things we can do isn't about adding anything at all, but about simply giving our bodies the time and space they were designed for, to repair, to restore,